Let me give you an idea how I end up where I end up, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it was a very interesting story, at least for me. I've been going through medical problems that keep changing my life since I was a little kid, since I was 9 years old. I had a fireworks accident that I was playing, with the firework in my hands, and I opened it up. It decided to blow up in my face and burn both of my eyes. I had to go through surgeries, a lot of different therapies to see again. At the age of 14, probably was my major change in my life. I got flu, and that flu turned into tuberculosis. That was 2 months in the hospital and a crucial pain that gave me a lot of time to figure out, why am I alive? Why would I want to be and move forward? What is the purpose of my life? So when you're in pain 24/7, at the age of 14, it gives you a very interesting perspective on this world. And that's when I probably got on that path of learning, on path of helping people, on path of figuring out how to bring value to the world that I'm living in, instead of just become the person who's just interested in stuff without giving anything back. And I was pretty much stuck in that path until the age of 23. That's when I had my first stroke. And the reason I got my first stroke, because probably of a high stress. I didn't know how to cope with the success that I've reached. I became the I became the director of recruiting for Bancorp Financial at the age of 23, which is very early age to be an executive at one of the largest financial institutions in the country. And it put a lot of stress on me, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And as a result, I got a stroke. And the stroke put me back to zero. I lost my job. I moved back to Los Angeles. From Los Angeles, a few years later, I became very successful, started a couple companies. They get sold for $250 million. I became very successful, and as soon as I reached that level of success, guess what? I'm getting another stroke. So I go back to losing everything pretty much. I still had the money, but I lost all the recognition, I lost all the friends and everything else, because I was out of a commission for a long time. I had to start my life all over again. I had to learn to read, to write, to eat, everything all over. And I'm only like 32 years old. So I had to start over again. A few years later, I've lost most of my money on bad investments. And I was pretty depressed at the time, and my ex decided to leave me. And I had to start all over again in my life. That's interesting. And I met my wife, and I started a business that was pretty successful, and reached a level of success again, and I've been pretty financially dependent again. And guess what? And my back went off. And doctors tells me I'll never walk again. And then I had to teach myself how to walk again, how to fix my back without a surgery, even though all the doctors recommended me to have a surgery, and I would refuse. So I had to start my life all over again and build myself up again. And a few years later, I decided, you know what, I think that's all I want to do. I want to help people, to teach them how to start over their life when they're down, no matter what they did before, no matter whether they were successful or not, what their financial status is. Because over my last 48 years, I have a very good record of starting over again, and from nothing to millions and millions of dollars in financial success, and spiritual and psychological. I'm in an amazing place right now. I'm one of the best state financially, one of the best health state of my life. At 48 years old, I can probably do close to 50 push-ups today that I couldn't do when I was in my 30s. That's when I want to help others, to help them to get over that depression, that downfall state, to start over again, start a new life, change their life from every single perspective, from emotional, psychological, and financial, to be happy again and never look back.